Welcome to another Quantum Conversation. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is an experience with Master Lightweaver Sophie Bidard. We welcome you to this sacred sanctuary of light so that you can clear emotions and some of that water element. Sophie is a beautiful teacher, and she helps people remove cobwebs of energetics that hold us back. Let's welcome Sophie to this beautiful show today. Sophie, thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Lauren. Such a delight to be back with you and the audience and to talk about one of my favorite topics, emotions. So, yes, let's get emotional in a way.
Yes. You know, getting emotional, it's really interesting. What's going on the planet right now can certainly be triggering some people. How do you propose that we use this practice that you're going to share with us to move out or to claim our mastery, to claim our sovereignty over the emotions? Can you share on that, please?
Yeah, oh, certainly. Because you see, well, for me, any crisis holds opportunities, one opportunity or maybe many opportunities. I guess we can certainly say that we're at a sort of crisis time, right? Things are not no longer, the world is no longer how it used to be. We're not yet somewhere where we're kind of established in a new world. So we're in between, we're in this crisis, transitional crisis. Now, in this crisis, just like I believe in every crisis, there are opportunities. And because this one crisis is, as you said, Lauren, very emotionally triggering in many ways, and it kind of seems to come from all directions that nobody can really escape it. Well, what's the opportunity there? And I ponder this, so I'm so glad that you're bringing this question to begin with, Lauren. Well, there's one way that we can navigate these highly emotional times is to actually, well, let ourselves be taken over and to drown in our emotionality, right? Let's say that's the low way, taking the low path, but we can take the high path and recognize an opportunity in which, well, this is challenging us emotionally. Let's let's rise with the opportunity to gain new ways of handling our emotions instead of drowning into them. When we're so much under emotional pressure, how can we elevate? And that's what we're going to talk about today. How can we elevate, and how can we use our emotions and work with our emotions, play with our emotions in order to elevate and to ride this storm, this world storm that we're going through, as opposed to drowning in it? Okay, so that's one opportunity that I see. And I would say also that by doing so, when we take care of our emotions as opposed to, well, let them take us over and be at the mercy of them, when we are responsible with them and when we take care of them and we take care of ourselves emotionally, then we can dramatically reduce the intensity of the emotions, how they affect us. And we can even come to a point where emotions touch us, trigger us, flare, so that we gather their wisdom, their guidance, and then we can let them go and we can elevate. And we actually don't have to feel and to experience everything so intensely. Now, it takes some work. It takes work to transform a crisis into opportunities, right? but this work is not only it's possible, it's called for. And what I see is that's one of the opportunities that we are offered at this moment. And I'm certainly here to support everyone who wants to elevate and who wants to turn the crisis into an emotional opportunity. I'm here to guide and support with this intention.
Thank you. We are feeling it. Wow, we are really feeling it. And so our central nervous system calms down with the breath. And I'm certain that people are breathing right now. But you actually have a very intense, not intense, but it's an intricate, delicate, loving, harmonious process that clears that energy. And so this is we're going to talk about remembering a life of water mastery, which is now emotional mastery. Tell us about this then, because as you were saying, we can rise above it. We don't have to drown in it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's fascinating, Lauren. And I'm glad you're asking about this because I really love to share about this. That's something I recently came to remember a past life in which I was a water master, or you could say a bringer of holy water. And what I was doing in that lifetime, I would walk around the earth and create in a specific area where I was called to create a high vibrational space that brings up water. I was creating kind of a wellspring of healing water, natural spring of holy water, and people would be blessed with this water. So calling water as an element up from the earth and creating this holy water spring, healing water spring. Now, in this current lifetime, so when I discovered this, I asked like, well, is this what I'm meant to do? Or no, that's not, I'm not meant to repeat this mastery, but the way it applies in this lifetime, this mastery is expressing as emotional mastery, guiding and supporting people to reach the holiness of their waters. The water element is the element of emotions, right? So our inner waters are our emotions. So helping, guiding people, supporting to reach the holiness of their emotions so that they be blessed with insights, guidance, and healing. Now, with this, I bring my own vibrational presence together combined with linguistic alchemy to stimulate emotional awareness, allowing emotions to come to the surface, to be attended to be liberated. Also guiding and supporting to release past emotions so that they no longer burden, distort, and create disease. And we're going to talk, just a moment, we're going to talk about past emotions as opposed to present emotions. And also leading people to acquire and put in place the structure that allows for the present moment emotion guidance. So that's the blessing to be received, to be embraced, and to be acted upon. So that's a brand new component added to my emotional mastery work, building an energetic structure for emotional elevation. So that's how it translates in this lifetime. So from a past life of water mastery to this lifetime of emotional mastery.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. So you were talking about past emotions and present moment emotions. So this means like if we experience something okay, Lemuria is a big one, Atlantis is a big one, many are still carrying that guilt of the fall, of things not going the way that we intended it to go. That's what we're talking about, but it's deeper than that, isn't it? Can you expand on this?
Yeah, well, it is that's the essence of it, right? Emotions from the past. I'm getting teary because you're making an evocation of, yes, very emotional times, like extremely intensely emotional times. And those, some of us, many of us carry the emotional imprints of this. Yes, you mentioned the guilt, the grief, right? The pain, all sorts of emotions from those times, but also from our childhood, maybe even
Mm.
from the time we were in the womb, from our past
Yes.
lives, from all sorts of past lives, and from our ancestral lineages, right? Now,
Mm.
I like to say that not all emotions are equal, and it's not a matter of positive versus negative emotions. It's a matter of present versus past emotions. So, present emotions, emotions of the present moment, that's what emotions are meant to be, actually. They are meant to be a thing, a manifestation, something generated by the present moment, right? That flares up at a moment due to a situation, something that is happening. And the emotion flares up. It has an intention. It is meant to guide us, to provide guidance, insights on how to respond to the situation that generates, that triggers this emotion. So these present moment emotions, we value them, we honor them, and we cherish them. Now, there's the past emotions from the times of Lemuria, Atlantis, or more recent times, as much as earlier in this lifetime. Okay. Now, these past emotions, unprocessed, unattended to, buried, suppressed, that we carry within ourselves, they wreak havoc in our lives, creating disease, creating discomfort, creating friction, conflict in our relationships, and perpetuating more of the same because they hold a magnetic type of substance, that such that if I carry anger within me, the resonance of this anger will generate me attracting more anger, and more anger generating people and situations. So that's the big issue with these emotions from the past, how burdening they are to us. But also, what they do is they distort even they may disable the guidance system that is offered by our present moment emotions. Our present moment emotions have to scream in order to be heard in the noise of our past emotions, if we carry burdens of past emotions. So in order to be noticed, the present moment emotions need to intensify and to scream in order to get our attention. But also the past emotions are going to distort and amplify the present moment emotions. If I carry a lot of anger from the past, well, it may take very little present moment emotion for me to explode and to overreact, right? So there's this distortion and amplification that is happening. Now, these past emotions, they live in our unconscious mind, and our unconscious mind is regulated by a number of directives, like programs, right? They operate according to programs. And one of the prime directives of the unconscious mind is that it will repress emotions that cannot be processed. So if we're not able to handle those emotions from the past, if we're not equipped, if we don't know how to do it, or if we are not supported, or if we are not guided, if we don't feel strong enough, if we feel afraid of going there, then they will be suppressed and buried. And the unconscious mind will bring them to our awareness, present them to our awareness when we are ready and equipped to process them and to clear them and to heal them, so to attend to them. So we need to create the conditions to be able to attend to those past emotions. And typically that's where I step in, right? Bringing the ability to, and the readiness, and also being equipped to process these past emotions. Unconsciously, we may carry tons and layers of past outdated emotions, emotional burdens and baggage that tend to flood and overwhelm our emotional body, to burden the physical body and the mental body, to block the access to our spiritual body, to limit the collection of our ability to collect guidance and insights, and also to prevent the elevation into higher frequencies and the positive polarities of those emotions. So we want to clear, detox, and heal those past emotions from the past. Does that make sense, Lauren?
Yes, and boy, I think we can see that there's a lot, right? There's so much. We would think that we've done a lot of the clearing work. Some of us have been at this for decades, but there's still things that come up. And again, this unconscious mind, would you also say that that's subconscious mind as well? Because the emotion tells the subconscious mind, so it's subconscious, unconscious. Okay. So we're like living and creating. It's really apparent how things can get distorted if we don't do that cleanup. And this is the important work of the energy cleanup, the emotional cleanup, the detox and the healing from it. And that is your work. So is there something that you can do for us right now so we can tune in and check into this emotional awareness of ours?
Yes, thank you. Exactly. I'd like to do a quick emotional checkup so we all get a sense of how much more there is. If only a sense, right? We're not gonna take too much time, but I want to touch on the possibility that we do carry emotions from the past. Yes, we all have done, or many of us, most of us have done a lot of emotional work, emotional clearing, and yet at the moment we talked at the beginning of the crisis we're going through. Yes, the intensity of these times is bringing us to more emotionality, and is bringing more deeper layers coming to the surface that maybe we were not prepared or ready or expecting to encounter. So let's just take a moment to do a quick emotional checkup in the orb of truth. So turn your attention inwards. You can close your eyes if you like, and of course, if it is safe for you to do so. And connecting to the great central sun, I call an orb of truth and place it around our group, around our gathering, each and every one of us. As our safe, sacred space for exploration of our unattended, unaddressed emotional burdens from the past. So within this orb of truth, ask your higher self to allow you to perceive, are there any emotions, past emotions, emotions from the past that are present within you that call for your attention? And just pay attention to any response that you get, maybe in your body, in your mind, images, sounds, any response that you get as you're being prompted. Ask your higher self, are there any emotions of anger, from a slight irritation to annoyance, anger, typical anger, all the way to rage and wrath. Any anger that calls for your attention. And ask your higher self to allow you to perceive, are there any emotions of sadness that call for your attention? Any degree of sadness, sorrow, grief. And ask your higher self to allow you to perceive, are there any emotions of fear that call for your attention? Any anxiousness, worry, fear, dread, even panic, terror. And ask your higher self to allow you to perceive, are there any emotions of hurt that call for your attention? Any degree of emotional pain, hurt, woundedness. And ask your higher self to allow you to perceive any emotions of guilt that call for your attention. Any self-blame, remorse, guilt from slight to deep. And ask your higher self to allow you to perceive any emotions of shame that call for your attention. Any embarrassment, humiliation, degradation, worthlessness. And ask your higher self to allow you to perceive any emotions of despair that call for your attention. Any desolation, powerlessness, hopelessness. And breathe. And ask your higher self to hold them for you. And set your intention on setting yourself free from these emotional burdens from the past, so that you may receive the blessings of your present moment emotions. And breathe. All right, so how was that? How was that, this experience for you?
Okay, I will be completely honest. That was really touching, and what a beautiful opportunity for me to have a healing moment there. The first four literally took me to tears. This is real. This is very real, and very emotional for all of us. It's not just me. I'm certain that in these times, everyone has
Yes.
this stuff coming up. And so it was very interesting to see at certain times maybe something in the present emotion, but it is tied to something That's what I noticed. That's what I noticed. It's tied to something in the past. What do you have to
Yes.
say about that? Because that's a lot of what we're discussing today is if we don't clear this, we carry it and it's unconscious to us. And the way that we show up to respond just is looping. It's like a looping cycle, right? And so what you're offering is a way out to end the
Yes.
cycle, to cut the cycle, to get to the bottom of it once and for all. Wow.
Exactly. Yes, we want, well, just as we do, many of us do that, detox our body, right? And or
Wow.
detox from technology, right? So we do these, we have these moments of detox that we do with different aspects of ourselves, such as our physical body, maybe our mental body, our habits and practices. And we need to detox emotionally so that our
Mhm.
present emotions can be pure as opposed to being distorted and amplified and leading us to overreaction and over emotionality. Our present emotions can be pure and can serve their purpose of offering guidance and wisdom. Okay. And yes, we need to do, especially at these times, we are called to this detox and healing because that is the only way up. It's the only way we can ride the wave of this global crisis and this humanity crisis we are going through, ride the wave of it, ride the storm of it, as opposed to be drowning into it and being totally taken over by it. So that's what I'm, that's what I've been called to come and to offer and to bring a structure that allows us to go very deep in the detox, in the process of detox. It's more than a clearing, right? It's a detox is more than a clearing. It goes very, very deep and very, very far. But bringing the mastery of leading you through the process with structure and with building internal structures that as we do this detox together, emotion by emotion, anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, shame, and despair, one by one. Through the practice, we build this structure that allows us, for one, to keep ourselves clear, for two, to receive the present moment emotions, their signals, without them having to scream, and to gather their guidance, and then to elevate ourselves into higher frequencies. And each of these emotions, the so-called negative emotions, they actually they are negative when they are on one side of the polarity, right? On one polarity, the polarity of the negative emotion. There's the opposite polarity. There's the positive polarity, which is what is it that they bring? What is the essence that they bring, that they lead us to? Such as the positive polarity of anger is healthy boundaries, freedom of truthful expression, and serenity. The positive polarity of sadness is joy, love, happiness, and so on. Each of these, I've identified 7 core shadow emotions, and any other shadow emotion is actually a composite of these 7 core: anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, shame, and despair. These are the 7 core shadow emotions. Each of them can be elevated into their positive polarity, and that's what I'm offering and inviting everyone who is interested in doing so to join me in a journey. We're going to journey together over 7 weeks with 7 successive live encounters in which we are going to take each emotion one by one, and we're going to detox, heal, and elevate that emotion into their positive polarity. doing so, we're going to build a structure that looks like, I keep having this image in my mind, Lauren. I'm sure you know what it's about. I hope I can convey it properly. You know how a DJ has a mixing table and a sound engineer has a table with all these buttons that are slider buttons, right? And the button can be at a low position, or you can slide it midway or slide it all the way up. Okay, do you know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And
Soundboard,
that's
yeah.
actually what we're doing. And what I invite everyone to do is to not only, so when we are stuck in past emotions, imagine that the slider button for each emotion, imagine each emotion of these 7 core shadow emotions being represented with one slider button. When we're stuck, when we're burdened with past emotions, for example, of anger, then our slider button is stuck at the negative polarity, right? And that's where we resonate in the low vibration. We're stuffed with anger. We carry a lot of anger. It's suppressed, repressed, but we carry it within ourselves. When we detox and heal, we get out of this low frequency position. We start to be able to catch the present moment emotion of anger, but then we take it a step further in building the ability to elevate, not only to clear and heal, but to elevate into the higher frequency polarity, so that the anger slider button ranges from burdens of anger from the past, that's the low position, to present moment anger that feeds me, provides me with guidance and wisdom at the moment, elevating it all the way to the higher polarity, which is the higher frequencies of, for anger, healthy boundaries, freedom of truthful expression, and serenity. So we're going to build through a journey of 7 weeks, each week being dedicated to a specific of these core shadow emotions. We're going to detox, heal, and elevate this emotion and that emotion and that emotion, so that once we're complete with our journey, not only have you covered the full range of these 7 core shadow emotions, but you've also built the structure that allows you to access and tap into these high vibrational frequencies. So for despair is at the end of our journey. It's the last detox, healing, and elevation that we do. We elevate despair into faith. So that's very pure. It's very high vibrational for sure. And yes, I'm inviting everyone to this journey of deep emotional detox and healing, and intentionally creating and building a high vibrational system of elevated frequencies available for you to tap into. Through our journey, you will install and train yourself to the system so that you embrace it. On the way you embrace it, you become empowered by it, and it is embodied.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is really wonderful. And so, again, this is a full program to cover the full gamut.
Yeah.
This is the emotional elevator, detox, heal, and elevate 7 core shadow emotions into positive polarities. This is deep work. It's beautiful. We encourage people to purchase the full program because as we witnessed in the overview of the emotional awareness, we each have something on all of this. And the subconscious holds this. So we may not even be aware of it until we get to the point where we're scanning and looking for it, and then we're surprised. So this
Yeah.
is really powerful work. We encourage everyone to jump on board with the full bundle here. Again, the webpage that got you here has that program. Check it out. And the video description for this program also has a link to that beautiful course. It really is wonderful. After 7 weeks of this, we get reports from people who take your courses, Sophie, and they absolutely love the freedom and the relief that it brings. You are
Yes.
literally, you are, it's you call it master light weaving, but you really are clearing debris. You're clearing debris and you're helping us clear that debris by being
Yeah.
the facilitator of this. And this is really important because as people are free and limited or unlimited, no longer limited by these emotions, how are their lives changed? What have you seen in the past when you liberate people from emotions like this?
Well, it's very interesting that it is actually happening for real, that through this journey, because we use the same process through these 7 episodes, right? These 7 encounters, these 7 sessions that we have together as a group. We use the same process. So out of using the same process, when you do something, you repeat something, it builds into you. And what people have reported is that, well, at the beginning of the journey, well, they didn't know how to handle, like, what even is emotion of the past, present. They learned the fine distinction between the past and present emotions and being able to recognize within themselves, so to sort out their emotions. They noticed their ability, well, first through the detox, a level of emotional noise, that all these past emotions, it creates noise, right? Even if they are buried and suppressed, maybe we don't hear it, but we feel it in our body. Maybe the noise comes through as disease, right? Illness or discomfort in the body or symptoms. So there is noise, the level of noise coming dramatically down, allowing for the present moment emotions to be noticed without for them having to scream, right? But to either whisper or to signal. So that's also very, um, it brings such a higher degree of inner peace, but it also frees our mind to be available for clarity and for thinking and for freedom of being creative and innovative, right? When there's no noise and when your emotions don't have to scream at you. But also, so that's huge benefit from the detox and healing, and doing it systematically with all the 7 core emotions, shadow emotions. But the elevation has proved to be so effective that people report having access to those delightful frequencies of uh, when you turn fear into wisdom, courage, confidence, having access to those high frequencies of wisdom, courage, confidence, or again, through elevating heart into compassion, resilience, wholeness, having actually access to those high frequencies, or integrity, self-acceptance, self-forgiveness, self-worth, dignity. I talked about faith. These are, it's, I mean, on the menu is actually pretty much all those. As much as we attend to the 7 core shadow emotions, through this deep work, we bring up the core vibrational frequencies that we just dream of accessing, and they become available and they become real and they become accessible. So we build the structure in order to be able to tap into them and to access them. And that's what people have reported through this upon completion of this journey. And you're right, Lauren, I also do invite everyone to join on with the bundle, with take the full journey. Not only have we priced it in such a way that it is really such a great value that you really want to take this opportunity, but also because our emotions are so intricate, right? Yes, we're going to work with them separately because that's the way we make it feasible, right? We are going to focus to have a method and to be able to approach this emotional soup that we carry within ourselves. But actually, they are very intricate. And there's also a path of how the detox and healing is happening. The sequence of these emotions is not accidental or just random, right? Why do we start with anger and why do we finish with despair? Well, and each step on the way has a meaning and a reason for this sequence. So let me just touch on that. Anger very often is used as like a lid, right? Like you put a lid on the cooking pot in order to just shut it down, and you push the cooking pot away and you just shut it down so that you don't smell what's going on inside, and you keep everything buried inside. Anger is very often used as a lid to cover those deeper emotions that we don't want to be in touch with, that we don't feel equipped to be in touch with until we get to work together. We don't want to be in touch with the fear, the worry, the anxiety all the time. We don't want to be in touch with our guilt, our shame. So we cover it with anger. So that's why we start with anger. We need to take the lead of first, we need to attend to our anger for sure, but we also need to remove the lid so that we can access the other layers. Okay, now I could talk about the whole sequence. Why do we finish with despair? Shame and despair, they are the deepest of the darkest emotions. They are those that take us into the darkest places, right? Within ourselves, within our unconscious mind. Now, as we go through the journey of detoxing and healing anger, then sadness, then fear, first, when we no longer carry the fear from the past, we are much more able to go and face our shame, our despair, than if we are stuffed with fear, right? So we need to be fearless. So that's a reason why we do fear early enough in the process. But also through doing these iterations, when we come to meet with shame and despair, your emotional body, your unconscious mind, your higher self are trained to handle the deep emotions. Your unconscious mind now knows that, yes, you are ready to take care of those deep emotions. You can do it. You know how to do it. You're guided. You're supported. It is happening. So now let's take it to the deeper, darkest emotions. And it becomes possible to do it, right? We couldn't start with shame and despair. But having them at the end of our process through these iterations, when we come to them, we are strong, we are ready, we are trained in the process, and we have a confidence that has built in that, yes, we can do that. We can take the deep dive, we can take care of what needs to be taken care of, and we'll come out of it and we'll come elevated. We'll come with this ability to elevate into wisdom, self-worth, dignity, and faith.
So, in this process, we've got the emotional clover of light. Now,
The
this is interesting.
elemental clover of light. Yes,
The elemental, not the emotional, excuse me, forgive me.
that's okay.
The
That's okay.
elemental clover of light.
Yes,
Let's do something with this so we can
yes,
experience how
absolutely.
this works. This is your
Absolutely.
protocol that is healing of those polarities.
Absolutely. And that's perfect. Having an experience of it is going to illustrate what we do, how we do it. The snapshot is that what is this elemental clover of light protocol? We're calling on the elementals, air, well, we're going to start with earth, actually. Earth, water, air, and fire to work with us on our physical body with the earth elemental, emotional body, mental body, spiritual body. So that's the clover, right? It forms a clover that's 4 bodies. And in each body, we're going to clear at the level of your aura, your past timeline, your genealogical maternal and paternal lines, and your future lifeline. So it's a multi-level, multi-layered, very systematic and very thorough protocol of clearing that we're going to use during our 7-week journey. We're going to use it to apply to each emotion. And today, I'd love to offer this gift of an experience with the elemental clover of light, experience that has a purpose, because some of you may feel, as we talk about this detox and healing, there may be, and allow yourself to feel this discomfort, maybe, if there is such a discomfort, a resistance to actually letting go of those past emotions that you're holding within. And there's something very, we could say, twisted, kind of weird, a kind of, it doesn't really make sense in a way, but it actually does make sense, that we may be tempted to hold on to our anger because, well, that's what protects me. That's what keeps people at bay, right? Or we may hold on to our fear because, well, my fear keeps me safe. Okay, or we may hold on to our guilt because, well, that teaches me a lesson and it will keep me from doing the same mistakes again. And to some degree, it is true, but it is such a low vibrational defense mechanism and way of protecting ourselves. Whereas we can, by clearing those emotions from the past and tapping into their higher frequency polarities, we can get the protection, we can get the boundaries, we can get the safety, the guidance to be safe, we can get the learnings and the wisdom without carrying the burdens of emotions that, as we said, create disease, distort your emotions of the present moment, and we just don't want those burdens of emotions from the past. So what I'm going to offer as an experience today is to have an experience of the elemental clover of light protocol applied to resistance to elevating your emotions, right? So if you feel any resistance to elevating your emotions, your core shadow emotions, allow this resistance, this reluctance, and we're going to take care of it together. Okay? So let's do that. So we wrote already the orb of truth. So let's bring back our safe, sacred space of the orb of truth. And we set our intention. May all that flows within our sacred space, be it words, vibrations, energies, serve the highest evolution of our souls and extend outwards in service to all. So as we did an quick emotional checkup earlier, allow your higher self to allow you to notice or to signal to you any resistance, any reluctance that you may have to release any of those emotions of anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, shame, despair. And ask your higher self, how would it be to satisfy the higher purpose of those emotions in a healthy and elevated way, allowing for these emotional burdens and related limiting beliefs and judgments to be dissolved, allowing for wisdom, insights, and guidance to be collected, allowing for higher vibrational frequencies to be activated. How would that be? So now let's proceed to the clearing of all this emotional attachment, being attached to those emotions of the past, maybe even addicted, right? Addiction to anger, addiction to fear, to worry. Mm-hmm. The old way of holding on to your emotional baggage for a low level of protection, low vibrational level of protection, which is actually detrimental and toxic. We're going to clear your resistance to emotional elevation. And for that purpose, we're going to work with the elemental clover of light protocol, multi-level, multi-layered healing and clearing. So let's do this within the orb of truth. You just need to let yourself be guided, let your higher self be in charge. Just stay present and breathe through the process. Let your higher self be in charge with the elementals. First, ask your higher self to ask the earth elementals to clear your resistance to emotional elevation in your physical body. Clearing in your aura, your past timeline, your genealogical maternal line, your genealogical paternal line, your future lifeline, and overall, and breathe. Ask your higher self to ask the water elementals to clear your resistance to emotional elevation in your emotional body. Clearing in your aura, your past timeline, your genealogical maternal line, your genealogical paternal line, your future lifeline, and overall, and breathe. Ask your higher self to ask the air elementals to clear your resistance to emotional elevation in your mental body. Clearing in your aura, your past timeline, your genealogical maternal line, your genealogical paternal line, your future lifeline, and overall. And breathe. And ask your higher self to ask the fire elementals to clear your resistance to emotional elevation in your spiritual body. Clearing in your aura, your past timeline, your genealogical maternal line, your genealogical paternal line, your future lifeline. And overall, and breathe. Opening the pathways for the light of truth of the great central sun to flow into your physical, emotional, mental, spiritual bodies. Activating the potential for and the freedom of emotional elevation in your aura, your past timeline, your genealogical maternal line, your genealogical paternal line, your future lifeline. And overall, and breathe. And we'll complete with a power claiming key, which you can adopt and make a mantra of your heart. Here is your power claiming key, my gift to you. Even if I don't know how, I intend to elevate my shadow emotions into their higher frequency polarities. For my highest good, my evolution, and in service to the highest good of all. And I ask to be guided and supported. And breathe. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to gift you this experience with the Elemental Clover of Light protocol.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Sophie. We are feeling into this and we are so grateful for where you have taken us. We can feel this shift right here in just this moment with the elemental clover. I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is a beautiful expression of what we can experience as we go deeper in the work with you. You are such a beautiful teacher because you know, you can see, you have this beautiful ability to tune in, help us tune in and see these lifetimes, these situations, these experiences that are still weighing us down. And so we feel sparkly clean in this moment. And again, we invite those who want to take this deeper. This is a beautiful opportunity to work directly with Sophie. Each session is just a beautiful container. And again, 7 of them. Imagine after 7 weeks, you will feel like a new person. You will be cleared. And the newness that comes in from that is beautiful. Creativity that steps in, confidence that steps in. So thank you, thank you, thank you. The beautiful teachings of Sophie Bidard await you, and we're excited to have you share. Sophie, is there anything else you'd like to say about the why this is so important at this time right now? It is extremely important and it
Mm.
really puts us in our mastery.
Yes, well, I think it goes back to the crisis and f not only finding the opportunity in the crisis, but embracing, right? Embracing the opportunity in the crisis. Life is emotionally intense at the moment. We can say that, and it's going to be for a little while, as far as I understand from the astrology and everything. So, with this, there is this opportunity for deeper emotional work, upgrading and refining your emotional mastery, your emotional guidance system with the emotions of the present, and reducing the intensity that you experience as well through this emotional storm that we're going through, as it is no longer echoed by massive amounts of past emotions. So allowing you a greater ability to navigate emotionally those intense times in a way that is empowered with wisdom and with guidance. So I think that's my final word is let's get together on this epic journey of 7 weeks and let's grant ourselves the ability to transform this crisis into an opportunity for ourselves, but also for others around us. We're going to model a new way of being in the crisis that is going to inspire others. Not only will we emanate those higher vibrations and higher frequencies, and that's going to serve our environment and serve the whole collective, but we're also going to inspire others into what is possible. And I invite you to join me on this journey. That past life of water mastery has turned into this lifetime of emotional mastery. That's really my purpose, my dedication, my commitment. And I invite you on this journey and I hope you will join. We'll have a fantastic time. In a weird way, we take a deep dive into those core shadow emotions, but it turns into such a fascinating journey of exploration, excavation of our turning our burdens of emotions into treasures of guidance and elevation into higher frequencies. So see you there. I hope you join, and I know it's going to be a delight together. Thank you. And thank you,
Oh,
Lauren,
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you,
Mhm.
Sophie Bidard. All right, everyone. Yes, this is how we do it. This is how we shift
How
the
we do it.
world. We
Yeah,
emanate higher frequencies. We
yeah.
clear out the density that weighs us down, and we inspire others from this vibration. That's how we do it. And that's why this is so important. That makes each one of you the light worker of your reality. And this is why we incarnated at this time. And so we're doing the cleanup, but on the flip side, after that cleanup is a beautiful reality. It is New Earth, it is a frequency. We are elevating our frequency when we do this work. And we so are grateful for you doing this work. We hope that you are inspired and we hope that you are feeling the power of the effects of this work. Sophie, you are an incredible teacher. Thank you so much for holding the light and being that guide for us as we learn to master this aspect of ourself. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
For some reason, I want to see if you have any final thoughts.
Any final thoughts? Well, I feel very inspired, and I thank you for this opportunity for sharing today, because uh, there's the sharing, there's the experience of that we had together. It was a short process, right, with the elemental clover of light protocol, And I want to go back to this and comment on this, on how leading this process, what was my experience, because as I run the process and I monitor it, I sense, right? I have a very sensitive sensor in my heart that allows me to sense the presence of emotions and where they are flaring up. And when we did this clearing, I felt that a lot of the resistance to the emotional elevation was in the mental body. It's when we
Yes.
came to the mental body that's what, like, it was like, whoa, that's where it's like entangled and like a bunch of knots. So we cleared this. And what came after, what I felt is like a breeze of fresh air, a breeze of hope that by not just unlocking, but removing this resistance, not even getting into elevation, but removing the mental resistance to elevation, which turns into this addiction to our good old bad emotions, because anger keeps me safe, fear keeps me safe, it's good to worry because it keeps me safe. That's the old dirty way, and we know better, and we can do better. Well, once this was cleared from the emotional body, there was a breeze of hope that I picked up from the audience of, wow, yes, it is possible, it is feasible, let's do it. So I thank you for giving me the opportunity, because it was a delight for me to uh, sense this
Yeah.
breeze of hope, and also to be the instrument of sharing it and offering it. So that would be my final word of gratitude.
Oh, thank you. I knew there was something more that had to be said, and that's why I paused there because I totally agree with you. I felt that too. I mean, I viscerally felt that relief from the mental. So,
Yeah.
wow. It just shows us how we hold on to things in
Mhm.
that mind and how releasing it, we are so much lighter. I
Yeah.
truly hope everyone is feeling that breeze of hope.
Hope.
Write that
Yes.
down on a sticky note. That is worthy. Breeze of hope. And we can feel it when we do this work. There's a breeze of hope. Thank you,
Where there
Sophie
is hope,
Bidard.
we need to catch it. We need to catch it, right?
Yes.
Hope is an inspiration. It's an invitation. It tells us it's possible. Now it's up to us. It's up to us to get into the elevator. Let's get together and do this emotional elevator 7-week journey together. Yes.
Yes, let's do this journey together.
Yes.
Please check out Sophie's special offer for those 7 programs. It's an incredible price. If you need assistance, there's a 2 payment plan because we want this to be easy for you. And again, you can purchase them one at a time, but the price is extraordinarily good when you purchase all of them together. It's almost like you get one and a half at no charge, which
Yeah.
that's a beautiful thing. And I am so grateful for you, Sophie, to offer that opportunity for everyone to work with you. And we are excited for everyone to come on board. Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
Sophie.
Thank you.
And thank you, everyone, for your
Thanks,
beautiful
everyone.
light. We love you. Namaste.
Namaste.
This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.